Managed IT Solutions, and it is Tuesday. So time for another Tech Talk Tuesday. I forgot last week. Beach brain, I guess. So at any rate, so someone had mentioned they liked me being outside and live. It gave more humanity to it. So if the weather is nice, I'll do some stuff outside more often. Right now, I'm sitting on a lovely Kubota tractor. No endorsements. Too bad. Out on the quote-unquote farm. It's a lovely day here in central North Carolina. Mid-60s, middle of May. Can't really complain. So, and it's nice and sunny out. So, anyhow, this Tech Talk Tuesday, I have a main story. But first, a little news. It's cyber and AI related. They're starting to walk hand in hand. I think I've mentioned that a few times, several times, a lot. Anywho, yesterday, Google announced that they had thwarted a compromise breach, per se, for MF8. There's a major problem. Here's the twist. The hackers used AI to create the bypass. Basically, Google was able to do some research and able to see artifacts from how it was done, and there were some hallucinations and some stuff in the code that was there. So they are my mic was muted and I think I got interrupted. I've got a strong 4G signal. I'm in central North Carolina, out in the boonies, kind of. Can't get 5G. If I want this pretty view, I can't be close enough to the house Wi-Fi. So I either have to get a transmitter or a better WAP set up here, or maybe a Starlink Mini, so I can just do it from anywhere. Yay. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. They saw that there were artifacts, hallucinations from AI, so they're convinced that that's what's doing it. Now, mind you, this hack, the hackers had to have a legitimate username and password for it to work. They couldn't just, hack the password and username as well. So, as always, make sure you're using different passwords and username. Well, passwords for all your accounts. Still enable MFA because, again, it's a layered approach. It's kind of like an onion. You want to have different layers of security. And one of them is, of course, using different passwords on different sites. So if one gets hacked or compromised on one site, bad guys can't take it and use it on a different site. So I know what you're thinking. I can't keep up with all these passwords. Get yourself a good password manager. We use Keeper internally. There's 1Password. There's a few free ones out there that are available. Bitwarden's a good one that you can get for free, and I think for family, you can set it up for free use if you need it and sharing. Any rate, and then best practice is to use a different multi-factor authenticator, 2FA, MFA thing, versus your password manager. Now, we're guilty of doing that, or I'm guilty of doing that, using my password manager with my MFA. For my important accounts, financials, I use a separate app because I'm paranoid. There you go. Anyway, so there's that news, and we're going to end the news bit on that. And now we're going to pivot just a little bit. Go all AI, all in for AI, right? So just kind of good timing. Just saw something from Russell Brunson, yes. The ClickFunnels guy, right? He's doing a webinar and starting, a $1 billion company with one person using AI. And it's a little far-fetched. $1 billion is going to be hard to do. For $1 billion to be $1 billion company, you have to have somewhere between $50 and $100 million in revenue to get that $1 billion valuation. And so, at a minimum, depending on the industry. But that being said, I did a thing this weekend. I was thinking about the things that need to get done in my business. I've been fixing things along the way, a little bit at a time, piecemeal, patching things, putting in, I won't say quick fixes, but fixes to help make life easier, which is part of what AI is for, right? But then, I hadn't communicated with the person who had been helping with marketing in over a month. And, we don't have a service manager per se with our managed services. The techs kind of manage themselves a little bit, but we've gotten to a point now where we really need a service manager. So that got me thinking, what positions do we need to fill to be a world-class MSP, managed services provider? And I've had, the dream org chart before, or built it out before, but I ran it by AI just to confirm what we're missing, the people we're missing, the positions we're missing, I think is a better way of saying it in this case. And if you've got a business, because I was guilty of doing this too, you're thinking about the people you need to hire. Stop thinking about the people you need to hire, but the jobs you need to fill. And it sounds contradictory, but it's not. As a small business and with a small business and as a small business owner, I have many hats, including this lovely 6-hour hat, also not a sponsor. But it's wax cotton and I like wax cotton hats. And so got off track. This is what happens when you go live. And so I wear many hats. That's where I was at. But every one of those is a job, right? Or is it a full-time position in our company size? Probably not. So you'd probably hire somebody to take 2 or 3 of your hats, right? They're hopefully are interrelated and not just completely wild. Like I need a bookkeeper and a digital marketing person. Let's get one person to do both. They're a little outside, right? So I started defining positions. And so basically we came up with about 20 positions. Spent the weekend defining those roles, what's entailed with the job, and started building personalities because we're going to assign AI agents to it. And in some cases, the AI agents will interface with humans, staff, mostly. On rare occasion, they'll interface with clients. We're trying to limit our client interaction with AI, but still going to have some because the system can nudge them a little bit to, make a meeting, remind them that we have a meeting, whatever. Be a little bit more personal than an email, but sometimes they're sending emails too, right? Whatever they can they can make a phone call. And maybe in the next year they can have video calls. We'll see. It's a little iffy right now. We're probably not going that direction just yet. But so yeah, that's the thing I did, right? So I'm looking to fill 20 positions and hire nobody. The good news is I'm not firing anybody, right? So if you're in that position as a small business owner, I think AI can do droves set up properly, right? And you have to think about it from that aspect. You can do what I did, right? Which is onesie-twosie projects that can help your business, can ease a pain, take away friction where you're hitting it. But what you really, really, really need to do to leverage AI to its fullest is you want to sit back and think. Now, if you've ever seen my videos, I have a "How can AI help me with?" ? In my background. Is what's missing in your company? What positions would you love to fill if you had unlimited funds, right? So there's 20 positions, there's 20 jobs I created. If I were to fill those with humans, my payroll would increase, would quadruple, something like that. It would be $2 million additional just for payroll, right? For those 20 positions. Cost estimate for what it's going to run me in tokens, plus a server to kind of coordinate some of it. The server's not really that big of a deal. It's the tokens. Rough estimate, $200 to $300 a month. So I'm getting 20 people for $200 to $300 a month. So instead of $2 million a year, we're looking, let's say $300 a month, $3,600 in costs. Those employees will work 24/7. They don't take holidays. They don't take sick days. They don't need vacation. You do have to train them, just like a regular employee, but they're not going to leave, right? So if I train them, because a lot of people think about that too, is if I train my employee, they'll leave and go somewhere else. The converse is what happens if you don't train them and they stay. Always train your folks. Always train your folks. But, just for simple math, 200 or say 3,000 versus 2 million, right? That's what, 6,000 times ROI. So if you haven't thought about AI, start giving it some serious thought. If you need somebody to help you plan it out, that's what we're here for at MITSAIM, MITSAIM.com, specifically for AI stuff. They're flies. It's the joys of being outside. Sorry. But yeah, that's basically what I'm going to do. I'll keep you guys updated. I may do some just regular short videos as I go along. Again, I've defined 10 positions out of the 20 with personalities type of thing. 2 of them are, actually 3 of them are quasi live. They live as agents. Their abilities are very limited right now because I just spun them up yesterday after spending the weekend defining them. So today we'll be connecting them to the various and sundry things they need. A few of our agents, AI agents, I don't want to say employees, are going to have email and Teams and some other stuff. So I got to get those connected so they can communicate with both my team and to external if necessary. But it'll be a work in progress. I'll keep you guys praised as we go. So that's what I've got for today. Apologies for missing last week. I was going to talk about AI and how to use it in your business. So even better, this week I'm telling you about how we use AI, or we're going to be using AI in our business. So hope you guys have had a wonderful couple of weeks that I've been out or away, enjoying the lovely North Carolina weather. Have a productive week. And remember, cybersecurity starts with you. Remember, we started at the beginning with cybersecurity. And that, start thinking about how you want to use AI. Talk to you later.